Paragraph 1. Marina Company Limited MCL is a multinational company whose headquarters are in New Delhi, India. The company established its offices in Kenya in the year 2012 and currently operates in 15 other countries across the globe. The company specializes in solar technology and offers alternative power solutions in remote areas where main electricity power cannot be accessed easily. The vision of MCL is to power the world and bring comfort to the forgotten. Paragraph 2. The company manufactures most of the appliances centrally in India and then ships them direct to its global markets. At the initial stages of establishment, MCL collaborated with technical institutes to train technologists who assembled and maintained the appliances. The company's after-sales services approach has boosted its customer base globally. Any major repair was referred back to New Delhi. In the year 2013, MCL hired a business analyst to carry out a worldwide business analysis with the aim of identifying countries where new offices could be set up. This decision would be based on a wide variety of factors. Globally, MCL customers were classified according to geographical regions. Africa region was the largest, with MCL present in 5 countries. The company had enjoyed monopoly status in the countries where it operated for a long period of time. From the year 2018, competition has been building up, where some companies have been able to offer more advanced and better products. This has led to MCL's bottom line being impacted adversely. The competitors' products are imported as complete portable sets and do not require local assembly. The marketing model used by competitors borrows heavily on multi-level marketing and therefore embraced by MCL customers. Perception associated with companies such as ML, which sell large quantities, undermines quality selling. The competitors introduce new modes of selling, including hire purchase and loaning for the appliances. These modes were quickly adopted by customers. Peter Quick joined MCL in the year 2020 as the head of sales Africa region. At the time, competition was very stiff and the financial position of the company was very low. Major customers that had remained loyal to MCL were shifting their loyalty. By the year 2021, the competition grew exponentially as new entrants joined in with cheaper and more technologically advanced appliances. Kan Ho, the Global Operations General Manager, whose office is in New Delhi, planned for a brainstorming workshop in the year 2022 for all regional sales heads to advise on the way forward. The regional sales managers were required to provide scientific responses to the problem, guided by facts and the unique challenges in each of their regions. Kan Ho expected that the workshop would yield remedies to the effects of fierce competition and the way forward would be arrived at. In preparation for the workshop, Peter Quick and his team carried out an in-depth internal and external analysis of MCL, studied the competitors' strength, customers' behavior, market volatility, competitors and products differentiation. In the analysis, it was indisputable that some of MCL products were unique and effective in the market. To enable him understand the reasons behind the customer shift in loyalty, Peter Quick purchased some of the competitors' products and shipped them to company's main laboratories in India for detailed analysis of their constituent parts. The laboratory report revealed that 70% of the competitors' products comprised of MCL's products components. The only major differentiating factor was the logo, color, and packaging. Most of the competitors were buying MCL's products, adding on a few improvements, the branding, packaging, and selling the products in the market as their own. In his presentation, Peter Quick noted that the assignment was complex and weighty. To enable him have a logical presentation during the workshop, he classified his findings in the following categories: marketing strategies, production and operations, human resource, ethics and morals, and legal issues. The workshop recommended certain measures to be undertaken. These measures included: 1. To broaden the customer base. 2. Top management to implement e-marketing strategy. 3. The company to reclassify their customers according to products. 4. MCL to reduce cost of their products. 5. Litigation and court action against companies that had used MCL's patent illegally. By the beginning of this year, the company's bottom line has started showing a positive increase. Customers were trickling back in, and it is expected that by the end of the year, the company will have regained its lost market share. Required Roman 1. Discuss 3 possible reasons why MCL engaged in the services of a business analyst. That is the question. I must give you an opportunity to retrieve. B of the question reads: evaluate 4 internal factors that would have played part in impacting on MCL's bottom line. Part C of the question reads: examine 4 ways in which MCL could apply Michael Porter's generic competitive strategy to regain its competitive advantage. Part D, Roman 1. Identify the leadership style applied by Kanho in the case. In paragraph 6, the fact that Khan has planned a brainstorming workshop and seeking innovation shows is a transformational leader. Transformational is derived from the term transform. So a transformational leader is one who does what? Who motivates and inspires the workforce to achieve extraordinary outcomes. We generally refer to them as visionaries. Transformation leaders are visionaries. Betty says democratic leader because he involves the followers through brainstorming. That is also true. A democratic leader is one who, before making decisions, he allows for participation from subordinates. So he's a democratic leader or participative. Democratic. So a transformational leader also has democratic attributes. Participative. You may say democratic, participative, transformational. That is the style. So you are just required to identify the style without explaining reasons. Okay? Without giving reasons. Because it's just a mark. In Roman 2, analyze 4 characteristics of the leadership style applied by Khan in D1 above. Characteristics. So you are just to state the style. Then in Roman 2, you give the characteristics. Corey says involves employees, subordinates in decision making. True, that is true. Involvement. The key word there is involvement. Involvement. Collaboration and involvement. That is true. Involvement. Involvement. and collaboration. And that we can prove from the case. Okay, we can prove this point from the case. Kan-ho demonstrated a collaborative approach by organizing a brainstorming workshop for all regional sales heads. And that allowed them to do what? To share the insights, experiences, and suggestions, which then fosters a sense of ownership and involvement in the decision-making process. True. Kidiga says visionary. Visionary. I can easily critique your point, Kidiga, because if Kan-ho is visionary as you are stating, then how come he didn't see? Because a visionary is one who has a picture of what will happen. How come he didn't foresee the stiff competition and take proactive measures to cushion the company against the effects of competition? Because putting together a team to brainstorm so that the company can be saved from the current situation may also indicate that he failed in a way to see the place in which the company is now. You understand? Does that not contradict? Because why is this manager organizing a brainstorming workshop for all regional sales heads? Is the manager not reacting? Because a visionary leader is one who is proactive. This one is reacting because the bottom line has been negatively impacted. And we've seen the factor that could have played part in impacting the bottom line. The profit has gone down. Inferior products, ineffective marketing strategies, lack of local expertise. That does not describe a visionary or forward-looking. The purpose, Kidiga, for this brainstorming session is not to avoid future challenges, as you are putting it, but to avoid the current challenges. Do you understand my point? Open communication. A democratic leader communicates openly. Let me say communication. Open communication. Then I support it. Kan-ho encouraged open communication by doing what? By requiring the regional sales heads or managers to provide scientific responses based on facts and unique challenges in their regions. And that candidates created a platform for honest, open communication. Do you understand? People brought in diverse perspectives. The managers discussed their deeper understanding of the issues they face in different markets. So a democratic leader encourages open communication. A democratic leader also values input. A democratic leader has value for input. Value for input. Value for input. Value for input. And we saw that Kan-ho Kan-ho valued the input of the regional sales managers. He recognized that they had valuable knowledge and expertise regarding the respective markets. So by seeking their advice, he showed respect for their opinions and demonstrated willingness to learn from the experiences. So that is an attribute of a democratic leader. There is also the aspect of decision making, which is an attribute of democratic leadership. There is what we call shared decision making. We know a dictator or an autocratic leader does not involve employees in decision making. That is the opposite of democratic or participative leadership style. And we see that Kan-ho was the global operations general manager. While he was the global operational general manager, he did not make decisions in isolation. Instead, he facilitated a workshop where everyone could contribute ideas and collectively arrived at solutions. And in fact, that then empowered the team, that boosts morale and also enhances quality of decision making. So these are 4 characteristics of the leadership style applied by Ho Kan. Part E of the question reads, explain the type of thinking that Peter Quick used to address the problem. What is your view? Corinne says analytical thinking. R says analytical thinking. Corinne says Peter carried out an in-depth internal and external analysis of MCL. That is correct. Someone says he came to understand the reason for change in customer loyalty and analyzing competitors' products. So you have Roman 1 and Roman 2. Now, apart from analytical thinking, what thinking comes to your mind? Apart from analytical thinking, which involves breaking down components of an idea or something, all right? Then analyzing the components with a view of understanding it, all right? Other than analytical thinking, Peter Quick must have used analytical thinking to address the problem. Because, analytical thinking involves breaking down complex problems into smaller, say, manageable parts. And the purpose of breaking them down is to understand their, say, underlying causes and then develop solutions. That is to say, analytical thinking is a logical approach to solving problems. And that is true. Peter Quick used analytical thinking. My question is, could there be any other type of thinking that he could have used? For the one who says analytical thinking and supports the type of thinking using the facts of the case may score the marks. The one who says critical thinking and you can support the type of thinking. So you have 3 thinkings. Three thinkings. Analytical thinking, critical thinking, and strategic thinking. Any other thinking? if you have studied, what do you call it, development of management thought, you must have covered something to do with the systems theory. Heard about it? Systems theory. From it we can have, someone says concrete thinking. Have you heard of systems thinking? Systems thinking. Systems thinking, which is a holistic approach. System thinking, candidates, is a holistic approach to analysis that focuses on the way a system's component parts interrelate and how systems work over time. You understand? Because a system, as we know it, is a group of elements or components that work towards achieving a certain goal. So we may talk of education system, a political system, generally speaking. Okay? So system thinking is a holistic view or approach to analysis. For Peter Quick here to analyze a problem. So he may have used systems thinking, which focuses on the way system parts, because we said a system is a group of components. In a system, there are parts that interrelate to either solve a problem or to achieve a certain end. So instead of concentrating on individual components of a system, system thinking examines the system as a whole, recognizing that the behavior of the system cannot be fully understood by simply analyzing its parts in isolation. Do you understand? So systems thinking emphasizes the importance of understanding the relationships and interactions between the components, as well as what we call the feedback loops that exist within the system. Now, to help you understand what I've just said, you may consider maybe the human body. The human body, as we know it, is a complex system with various organs, with various processes that work together, that makes this organism function the way it ought to function. So when one organ malfunctions, when one part of this system malfunctions, it affects the whole body. For example, if I have a problem with my brain, if my brain does not function accurately, the way it ought to function, it will affect all the parts of the body. Because I rely on my brain to tell me what to do. Okay? I rely on my brain to look for food, to feed the stomach. Because if the brain is not functioning well, then the stomach may not receive the food. You understand? Another part could be, say, the pancreas. All right? For example, a problem with my pancreas can lead to diabetes, which then impacts the entire metabolism. Now let me come home. A business likewise is a system. It has departments. A business has employees as another component. We have processes that interact. The departments, marketing department, production department, IT department, we have research and development department, we have the management. So those parts, within those departments, we have people, we have processes, we have procedures, we have rules, we have manuals. So candidates, a change in one area, e.g. marketing strategy, if you change the marketing strategy, that change in marketing strategy can affect sales. That strategy can affect customer satisfaction, and ultimately it can affect company's profitability. So the type of thinking, in my view, is the systems thinking. He used the systems thinking. So if you use the systems thinking, the type is system thinking, then what are the steps followed in the systems thinking? One step is to identify what we call interconnectedness. Interconnectedness. I just defined a system as comprising many components or parts that interrelate to achieve a certain end. So the first step in system thinking is to identify system interconnectedness. Identify interconnectedness. So let's come back to the case. Let's come back to the case. Now, candidates, Peter Quick recognized that challenges faced by MCL were complex and interconnected. Were complex and interconnected. All right? Peter Quick. I'm looking for Peter Quick. But why do I say so? I say so because he understood that the problems in marketing, the problems in production, the problems in human resources, problems in ethics, the problems connected with the legal issues were all interconnected. They were all intertwined and needed to be addressed holistically. Okay? So the first step in system thinking is to identify interconnectedness of things, how things are related. You understand? So that's step number one. Identifying system interconnectedness. Identifying system interconnectedness. Now, the second stage or step is understanding what we call feedback loops. Understanding feedback. Understanding feedback loops. And how did Quick do that? Now, Peter Quick investigated the feedback loops within the company's operations. For example, he analyzed how the decline in sales was impacting the company's financial position, which in turn affected employee morale and customer loyalty. So by understanding feedback loops, he could identify what we call leverage points of intervention. You understand? So that is the second step. Hope you can hear me. Now the third step is analyzing root causes. Analyzing root causes is the third step in the system thinking process. Peter Quick had to just go beyond the surface level symptoms. He had to dig deeper to uncover the root causes of MCL's problems. We read, to enable him understand the reasons behind the customer's shift in loyalty, Peter Druck purchased some of the competitors' components, products, and shipped them to the company's main laboratories in India for detailed analysis. All right? So he went beyond the surface level symptoms. He bought the products from the competitors and then shipped them to India. You understand? And that helped him to understand the true nature of the competition and the need to protect the company's what we call intellectual property. Because after carrying out an in-depth analysis of these products, we read that 70% of the competitors' products comprised of MCL's products components. So these competitors were buying the company's components, then reassembling them. Then they were just changing the logo, the color, and the packaging. So you can see here, he analyzed the root causes of the problem. Lastly, we have what we call long-term consequences. Long-term consequences. In systems thinking, one has to consider long-term consequences. One has to consider long-term consequences. And why? How can I support the step on considering long-term consequences? Now, in making recommendations, candidates, because the last paragraph here we read that the workshop recommended certain measures to be undertaken. One is to broaden the customer base. Number 2 is top management to implement e-marketing strategy. Number 3, the company to reclassify their customers according to products. Number 4 is to reduce cost of products. Number 5 is litigation and court action. So Peter Druck's recommendations were not just quick fixes, but they aimed at long-term solutions. And he advocated for broadening the customer base, implementing e-marketing strategies, reclassifying customers, reducing costs, taking legal action against patent infringers. And such actions are designed to address the underlying issues and create sustainable competitive advantage for MCL. So that's the answers to the case study that was tested in August 2023. I think I've exhausted my time. I may not have time to do another question. Maybe we can create time tomorrow to maybe do the other questions or any other case study. If you have a question that you'd want us to look at here, please feel free to communicate in our WhatsApp group. Bye-bye.